say anything.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 3 of The Cheap Pop. We are live here again on YouTube, joined once again by Sammy Madge. How's it going, Sam?
How you going, Nick?
I am doing very well. Oh, it's great to have you back. She's back via audio only again today, but that's okay because we're here to hear what happened on AEW Dynamite, and we're going to get right into the show. There's quite a bit to go over. Sam, I think you probably watched a bit. Like I watched it all, but there was a bit here and there. I did have to go through it pretty quickly, but it looked like a pretty good show. What did you think overall before we even get into the breakdown?
Yeah, another great show. It the difference between AEW and other companies is that it's a 2-hour show, but it feels like an hour. It went so quick. To me, it was that good. Like, you know how I get over stuff quickly. Well, this just went by so fast. So I thought it was a really great show. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That normally is a sign of a good show when it goes really quickly. We did have, I guess we'll go over a bit of breaking news. Now, it's not, some of it is AEW related, some of it isn't, but we may as well while we've got the show going on. We'll start off with AEW, and the first thing was that Brian Kendrick, before the show, was supposed to be facing Jon Moxley tonight. He was supposed to be his opponent. For obvious reasons, everybody knows he was pulled out literally, I don't know, like an hour before the show, which was a bit of a surprise. But he was pulled out, so he's not on the show. Yeah, Wheeler Yuta replaced Brian Kendrick. So that was a bit of a last minute swap. I don't know if you saw the news, Sam, but it was pretty close to the show, so they had to come up with something really quickly.
Yeah, he tweeted out just beforehand. Some offensive comments were made, and it forced Tony to pull him out from the show.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago too now, but it's fair enough as well. If you actually read the comments, it's pretty crazy what was said.
But not a bad feeling, Wheeler Yuta. Last time they had a match, Yuta got squashed. This time, it was actually a really good opening match.
Okay, that's absolutely fair enough, and that's what you want, especially for a show opener. Look, we'll quickly just touch over the other news. I don't know if you saw the breaking news, but you know how I was talking about what I would do with Shane McMahon in WWE terms. This is just funny. Apparently he got released yesterday.
Who?
Shane McMahon.
What?
Apparently he was silently let go from the company.
By his dad?
Yeah, breaking news all over the internet. I don't know where it is, but the main people have put it out there. Yeah, he got let go apparently over all the Royal Rumble controversy.
Okay.
So yeah, bit of breaking news. Good. We'll touch on that more if there is any more news for the SmackDown review. But let's get into the good show tonight. Anyway, the show that probably matters at the moment. And we kicked off with Jon Moxley against Wheeler Yuta. And that's, again, Sam, you might have to butt in with anything that I've missed. It was a quick breeze through, but look, we started off Jon Moxley coming out with probably might be everybody's favorite entrance at the moment. There's just so much hype around it every time he comes out to that song. Mox started the show. We were in Chicago, one of your favorite crowds, isn't it, Sam?
Yes.
There you go. So came out to a brilliant crowd in Chicago, and he hit the ring for the opening match against Wheeler, as we mentioned earlier. The best friends, Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, was accompanying them to the ring as well, which is kind of good to see. I haven't seen a lot of him, but I have heard of him. There's been a lot of talk about him the last few months, and he showed up on AEW. So they accompanied him to the ring. So the last time they did face, as Sam mentioned earlier, it was complete domination by Jon Moxley. But this match was a lot better. I think there was always only going to be one winner. It was pretty obvious. And so obviously Jon Moxley ended up picking the win, and it was a very brutal finish. I don't know if you recall, but it was just, he just destroyed him in the last sequence.
He looked like a ragdoll.
Yeah, completely.
He looked like a ragdoll. That's the only way to say it. His body was going everywhere. And, he was like a ragdoll.
Yeah, no, I have to agree.
It was good.
It was a smart way to finish it, I thought. It made sense. So yeah, Moxley ended up getting the win, and after that, that's when things got pretty interesting. Afterwards, Danielson showed up. Bryan Danielson, that is. And look, I didn't really hear much of the conversation, I will be honest. I kind of just, I wasn't able to watch that part. I saw him come out and everything. So maybe you can elaborate for everybody a little bit more about what happened with Moxley and Danielson.
Yeah, so he came out and asked Moxley to be his tag team partner.
Yes.
That's pretty much a general rundown of it. Mm-hmm. He said that they could mentor the likes of like Wheeler Yuta, people like that, and just to become his tag team partner, but also they could go off singly and do their, you were saying, you can go and get the AEW championship. Mm-hmm. I can go get this championship, but then together we can come back and unite as a tag team.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I did see Danielson put his hand out to shake his hand. I saw that.
He didn't shake, but he's going to think about it.
It's interesting.
No, he said, he'll think about it.
We know where this is leading. It's pretty obvious. I think, is it Revolution, the next pay-per-view? I believe.
It is, yeah.
I don't know, it's like a month away or something, but that's the obvious match that'll take place. So we'll see how the story leads, because, it's inevitable those two will be facing each other. They might do long-term booking, which is something AEW is good at. They might wait and do it at Double or Nothing later in the year. So that's definitely something to look forward to. Next match. This was interesting. We obviously had the Knights of the Black Throne. Or I guess you could call them the House of Black. But we know Rey Fenix is out with that injury, which thankfully I'm glad it's not that serious, which is wonderful to hear. But we had Pac coming in for Rey Fenix in this match with Penta against Malachi and Brody. I thought it was a really, really decent match. Sam, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It was a great match. I think that was their new entrance.
Yeah.
When they came out, and just a great entrance, scary looking. They have a great theme going, and the correct winner.
Yep.
Just overall good match.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. They went with a bit of a swerve at the start with Pac being blindfolded or whatever was on his eyes. That was kind of a good little swerve. I thought I was kind of confused when he was walking out, with his hand on his back. I was like, what's going on here? And then it made sense at that point, what was happening there. There were a few things that happened before the match. I'm pretty sure there was a whole Brandy Rhodes and Adam Lambert thing. Dan Lambert. I keep calling him Adam Lambert.
It was.
It's habit.
They actually had what they were talking about in the ring was, I thought it was quality. I thought it was good because it just makes everyone hate her more and the family more. She got booed.
Yeah.
And it was good.
I'm always wondering whether the boos are actually for the segment or whether they just don't want the segment at all. We won't really know until we find out what happens with that whole thing.
I think the boos are for her and her husband, right?
Yeah, I think she's always going to get booed. I don't think anyone really cares. I don't know. True. I feel like she's that person on the AEW show that no one wants to be involved in anything. From what I see on Twitter anyway, the IWC certainly doesn't care, and I can kind of understand it.
Yeah.
So that happened there, and then this one I actually also didn't see, which I'm only just reading now. Apparently Matt Hardy said that him and Isaiah Cassidy are going to be battling on Rampage for the TNT Championship, apparently. So I haven't been that caught up with AEW to an extent, so I don't know if this has been leading from anything. Well, there you go. It actually does say apparently it's to make up for Private Party's loss to the Jurassic Express last Friday on Rampage. So there's something there. Rampage is, I still consider the B show, so I don't know if we'll review that, but we'll see what happens there. I'll definitely be tuning in, or at least seeing what happens with that match. Anything with Sammy Guevara is quality content. I think you'll agree.
Yes, definitely agree.
All right, so we'll pass up what happened with Pac, Penta, and the House of Black. So obviously, Black and King beat Pac and Penta. And I thought, that was a pretty decent match. We will move on to the next match, which I believe was a women's bout between Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose. I initially thought this ended with a bit of a botch. What did you make of the finish then?
Yeah, I was just about to say, the finish of the match looked like a botch, but I think she was supposed to miss the kick, right?
I agree. It looked like she was supposed to. I just think she was supposed to get maybe a little bit closer I don't know how it was supposed to end, exactly how she was supposed to miss the kick. Because if she was supposed to miss the kick, she would have missed the kick, and she did miss the kick. So maybe she was meant to fully miss it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? I think she was supposed to maybe hit her, and maybe she splattered her leg away or something. I don't know. Either way, the result was always going to be the same, I'm pretty sure. Which surprised me a little bit, actually. I didn't think Nyla was going to beat Ruby. But yeah, they've gone down that route. Sam, is there anything to elaborate on? I haven't, again, been following anything that's happened between these two the last couple of weeks. Has there been anything?
I'm glad she lost, to be honest. That's all I was going to say. I'm glad she lost because I hate when there's so much hype for someone and then they just keep winning. That's also boring. Whereas now Nyla's the beast that she came out with a cape and whatever else she had on, and she looked like a beast. And yeah, the beast won.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you reckon she'll get a title shot eventually at Jade for the TBS title? I should say, not Britt Baker's main title, but maybe a mid-card title.
Maybe, but people might see that as like a Brock move. You know, the beast always winning.
Yep.
That type of thing, but
yeah,
maybe one day.
I guess we'll see what happens. I can see where you're coming from there as well. And then, there could be another rematch as well. But yeah, look, we'll see what happens. But then again, do you really go heel versus heel? That's another thing to think about. So next, we had the AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page come out to the ring. He was discussing, which I actually didn't know prior to this, he was discussing to his already confirmed title match next week against Lance Archer. And yeah, he basically came out and all I know is it's a Texas Death Match next week that they're doing. And then Dan Lambert, which I didn't even know was involved in this whole thing. That's how much I've been caught up with AEW. I don't really like Dan Lambert. Besides, it's weird. I don't like him, but I like him. His promos are good. It's just, I don't like anybody that's come from a different kind of background in terms of MMA, a certain sport. But you know what? He's not doing that badly. Jake the Snake Roberts, obviously, still with Archer, that kind of thing. And then all I know is, yes, Paige ended up getting put through a table, I believe. Sam, do you want to elaborate?
What's there really to elaborate on? He
got put through a table.
Lance for like months and months, he's a beast. He comes out and just takes out people like
huge.
People holding the cameras, just random people.
Yeah.
And so another beast-looking guy. Another beast-looking wrestler. And I think it's a good match.
Fair.
Not too soon for me. Like, I know he only just came back in January. Yeah. But yeah, good match. They've been fighting against each other for a couple of weeks. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think the only thing that would probably be a good result. Obviously, he's not going to win the title. It's really just to put Paige over even more, leading into what hopefully will be an inevitable match with Maxwell, but they could delay that to Double or Nothing as well, and they could have a different challenger come Revolution. They could go triple threat route with Moxley and Danielson as well, so we'll see what happens there. Apparently, Chris Jericho called for an Inner Circle team meeting. I did see the promo for the team meeting. Apparently, there's dissension between him and Santana and Ortiz, which I do remember seeing something a few weeks ago with somebody else involved. What do you think of the whole situation, Sam?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Yeah, it's one of those side things. Obviously, I know, I can't even remember who. It might have even been Bryan Danielson. Somebody coming out to help Jericho, vice versa. And then there's a bit of dissension between, obviously, the Inner Circle, or at least them three specifically. So we'll see what happens with the team meeting next week. We don't know what'll happen with that. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on social media. They'll probably elaborate on that more on there as well. And then we've already come to our main event. If I've got everything correct, we've already hit our main event. 40 minutes long, I believe it was, which is insane. Sam, I know these are probably your two favorite wrestlers in the planet. I'm guessing if anybody was looking forward to this match the most, it probably would have been you.
Yeah, let me just start off because, let's start off with the entrances. But can anyone in the comments tell me why CM Punk's entrance was so long? Like, the music went on for so long. I think they stuffed up.
Yeah.
Say that about the entrance. Like, it felt like his song went on for too long, in my opinion. But yeah, two of the best wrestlers at the moment, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I'm glad this match happened before Revolution.
Okay.
I'll start off by saying that.
All right. Yeah. Well, I already heard it was a 40-minute match before I started watching it, so I did skip the entrances and probably went in about 5 minutes. My guess, based on what you've said, is that it might have been Fight TV's commercial break. Perhaps they were covering for the commercial.
It might have been.
Maybe. So they just had the music playing. He was waiting for them to come back from ad before MJF came out.
Usually something comes up that it's a commercial and you have to, it's just got AEW and big writing and that didn't come up.
Sometimes.
But it might have been a stuff-up.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, then again, I think they only showed if it's picture-in-picture, so maybe, yeah. I'm not too sure. It could have been a stuff-up. Or they were just letting the Chicago crowd enjoy the song. I don't know. So, yeah, we all know what happened in the middle of the match. Logical-wise, it probably didn't make sense. I wish it ended there. Again, it probably would have been a bit too early anyway. They probably could have delayed it and then done it. I'm happy with the result. MJF winning is the obvious result. He cheated twice. However, I don't understand how the referee can restart the match when he didn't see what happened. But for the Chicago crowd, at least they got to watch CM Punk a little bit longer. We're not sure where this is going to lead. But MJF obviously hit him, I believe, with the diamond ring. Pretty much the usual way he cheats to win every time, and knocked Punk out. And I think in Chicago, I don't know if you agree, you're a big CM Punk fan, but I thought it was the right result.
It was the right outcome. It was long-term storytelling for MJF. It was a perfect guy to give CM Punk his first loss.
Yeah.
And yeah, I reckon MJF will go on to become the next champ. Well, not the next one, but he will go on to become the champ. And my thoughts on a part 2 match? No, I don't think so. I think that one was good, and I don't think they should have another one.
Yeah, I think they should leave it for maybe another time. Maybe now put it away. Do you perhaps now, to fill the gap until Double or Nothing? Well, actually, you can't really do this, because that's my brain telling me there's no logic in CM Punk feuding with Page for the title, because then that's not fair on MJF. They need to use something that's already happening. Maybe they prolong the Lance Archer thing and bring somebody else into it until Double or Nothing. Because let's face it, Double or Nothing is AEW's WrestleMania. It is their big show. So perhaps if it was me, I'd be waiting. The only problem is MJF is a heel. You get to Double or Nothing, he's probably going to have the crowd cheering for him to win the title. That's a bit of a worry. And you don't want him to turn face. Because I just can't see MJF being a face.
Well, he won't be a face now. It's everyone loves him as a heel. I can't imagine him being a face.
I just hope the crowd sticks with it that way and they don't start cheering for him when he tries to win the title, because you know they probably will. Everyone likes him being a heel.
CM Punk comes back to attack him when he is going for the title, or when he does have the title. How good would that storytelling be if CM Punk came back to get him back then?
Yeah.
Like, in the future.
What they could do, they could go the route that now they do have a rematch at Revolution, CM Punk and MJF. MJF beats him again, but maybe attacks him post-match, and kayfabe injures him. Perhaps.
It's such a WWE thing to do, is to have the rematch 1 month later.
Yeah, not necessarily. You can have a couple of matches in the space of a couple of months. I'm pretty sure AEW have done that before. That's fine, as long as they're not having...
It was such a good match that, to have another one a month later is just too quick. It just takes away from this one. Him winning, I know it was cheating, but from him winning and then him losing again, what's the point?
I just think if you want to build this CM Punk thing, you have the crowd forget about CM Punk. He's long gone. He hasn't even shown up on Dynamite for 3 months.
Yeah.
And at Double or Nothing, MJF wins. The Dynamite after, bang, there's CM Punk. The crowd erupts. The problem now is CM Punk's been back for a while. Everybody's used to it. He's back to his usual. The hype, that initial welcome back hype's kind of gone. If you want to have him pop and then have him push for the title, I think you have to have a surprise return. It doesn't have to be necessarily 3 months off. That's just my opinion anyway. I think maybe if they want to go down that route, similar to what I want the WWE to do with Edge and AJ Styles, I want that to happen with CM Punk, because he's obviously older. He probably doesn't have much left in the tank, just like Edge. I would rather them have that big push to win the title. Same as MJF, I guess, but we'll see what happens. There's still... I think Double or Nothing's in May normally, isn't it? So there's still plenty of time until that happens. But yeah, how do you want to see it all play out in terms of CM Punk as well?
In terms of, I think CM Punk's role is helping other people. I think that's what they've employed him to do. So I don't actually think he will go for the title now. I think that'll be something that happens later on.
Maybe.
I think he's trying to help MJF to become bigger and better than what he already is. So I think he's taken a back seat, and I think he's just being a mentor for everyone, to be honest. Okay. And I'm happy for him to do that because he's helped like Darby Allin, MJF, people that we love. And we love them more now because of what he's doing, because of what CM Punk's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's probably... maybe they'll wait until he's probably closer to the end of his career and then just give him one last title run before he retires. I don't know. Who knows? I'm actually not sure what Punk's age is. He might want to go for a long time still. Who knows? Time will tell. I'm pretty sure that closed the show. I cut it off after he won the match. I didn't see if anything happened afterwards.
No, nothing happened.
Pretty sure Wardlow obviously helped him, the usual. And then the best touch for me was that he won in Chicago. It was a smart move.
Did you see what Wardlow did when he came out?
Initially, no. I know he was the distraction. For him.
It was pretty much just a distraction. Yeah. But he was supposed to be a distraction help for CM Punk, right? That's how I took it.
It protects CM Punk's first loss.
And it didn't even help him.
Yeah. It protects Punk's first loss. Completely. Like MJF winning clean will have to happen when he wins the title. I don't want him to cheat to win the title. That's the one thing. I think they need to come up with a stipulation where there's no outside interference. I don't know, some form of match that'll prevent, somebody ruining it from the outside. Maybe you can do a little bit of cheating during the match, but no outside interference. Time will tell, but there's a long way to go before that. Yeah, sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, I was just agreeing with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's all right. That pretty much does it for AEW. What were your overall thoughts on the show, Sam? Dynamite?
Yeah, like I said at the start, great show. Went too quick, which means it was too good.
Yeah.
And, they keep it to 2 hours. Don't make it any longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, great overall show. The last 40 minutes was the highlight.
Yep.
And for me, anyway, I kind of wish they spoke. That's just me. I like when they speak. But overall, great show.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's really interesting to see now. We don't know what's going to happen next week. I think it keeps Dynamite next week very, very exciting. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for this quick episode of the Dynamite review. We have SmackDown coming up on Saturday. I don't know if Samantha will be joining me because she will actually be here. In this building. So we'll see what happens. Shane might rejoin again. But yeah, we'll find out after we watch SmackDown. That's midday Saturday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again for joining me, Sam. You can follow her on Twitter at RealSammyMadge. And as I said, she will be back to streaming perhaps tomorrow. I am not too sure. Sam, do you know when you'll be streaming next? So everybody can come and tune in.
I might be streaming tonight, but...
There you go.
I'll announce it on my Twitter. So if you follow me there, that's where you'll see it.
There you go. At RealSammyMadge. Follow her on Twitter and you'll find out. No, that's all good. No problem at all. And make sure you all smash the like button if you enjoyed the video and the podcast. Make sure you do subscribe and pop the notification bell on. That way you can obviously see when we go live in the future. So that'll do it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll